right, Christian, what was the first thing that went through your mind when you were told that you were going to be Selena?
Um, there were a lot of things that went through my mind over the span of those 6 months where I was kind of, auditioning and discussing whether or not it was going to be possible for me to play the role. But it was such a long process, and I had already been preparing just so I wouldn't be behind if I was lucky enough to get the job. That when I finally heard that I was going to be playing her, I didn't really have time to like enjoy it or relax or really think about how major it was, because I knew that the work was only just beginning, and I just kept going, went inside, packed, got a game plan together with my husband, and just, went straight at it.
There's a lot to be done to bring your character to life. How did you prepare to get in your role, and did the Quintanilla family help you in any way to build it?
The Quintanilla family was incredibly helpful because, them being a part of our show it's invaluable. Like, we would not be able to tell this story without them. And I'm so grateful that they're allowing us to tell this story and that they gave me this opportunity. I have been a fan of Selena's since I was a child. And I really knew that I was in a good place in my life to dedicate everything I could to playing her and just making her fan base and her family proud. And I definitely wanted to do everything I could. So I reached out to dialect coach, vocal coaches, physical trainer, because, performing on stage, you have to have a lot of stamina. So I really just hyper focused on Selena and everything that made her her. And yeah.
Awesome. And she had a very special way of singing and dancing. What was the hardest thing for you to do? Did you have like a challenge? Did you find a challenge throughout the way?
Yeah, it was challenging to portray all of the moments in her life as an artist. She didn't always dance the way the icon that we know dances. She didn't always present herself that way on stage. That was something that she found and she experimented with. She had been in the industry for a very long time, working to be a singer and an artist and performing and writing songs. So when she was younger, she didn't really move so much. As she got a little bit older, she started dancing a little bit more on stage, experimenting. She was so heavily influenced by the 80s in her teenage years, and then by, Spanish artists later on in her life, which gave her that like flamenco movement that she had. So I think keeping track of all of that was the hardest, especially because we weren't shooting in a linear way. We were kind of hopping back and forth a lot. So I wanted to pay really close attention to those details.
Right. And Selena's one of the most awaited series by all the fans and obviously the Latinx community. Do you feel a lot of pressure or responsibility to portray her?
Absolutely. It's a lot of responsibility. I know what this woman means to so many people, and I know that everyone grew up listening to her and watching her and felt incredibly connected to her. And it's the same with me. I'm her fan base. I've been a fan since I was a child. I'm Mexican American. She's Mexican American. So she's somebody I looked up to for a long time. So I knew that this was going to be huge shoes to fill, and I knew what responsibility I was taking on, but I was so prepared to do it and to give everything I could to this role. And I really did. And our cast and our crew care so much about her legacy and respecting her and her family and the fan base. And I think it's really going to show when people watch our show and see what attention to detail we did.
And after getting into her shoes, how would you describe her, or what are the things that you like about her the most?
She's an incredibly strong and smart woman. I think first and foremost, she's so, she's incredibly talented and she's all of these amazing things. But I think we forget, because she's such a large presence on stage, that she was very, very young. She nearly presented almost 10 years older on stage. She had such poise and such grace and such confidence that she felt like a woman who had been here a lot longer than she was. She was really young, and what most impressed me is seeing just how many rooms she was in and how many people she was speaking to at such a young age, and was able to eloquently and confidently demand what she needed, um, and express to people her vision, I thought was so incredible. And she did it with such strength and grace.
Yeah, she really did. And what do you want the audience to be left with after seeing the show?
I want them to just have fun watching this woman that they love. I want all of us, I mean, to sing these songs together. I want her songs that we don't know so well to become as mainstream as songs like Como la Flor. You know, they were incredibly innovative, and I had never heard songs like Ven Conmigo or Besitos, and I'm so excited for her fans to hear those songs and to just enjoy seeing her story again and see the hard work that her, Mexican American family put in to achieve the American dream. I think is really heartwarming.
We read that it is very important for you that your daughter learns different languages and family values, and that's something that we also see reflected in the series. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, my daughter is Mexican and Danish, and I feel so connected to my culture. My grandparents came from Mexico, and um, I they did such a great job at helping me feel connected to my heritage. And my language is not perfect. It wasn't always perfect, but I always wanted to have the opportunity to better my language, and I want my daughter to grow up knowing her language, Danish and Spanish, and just feel really connected. And not to say also that if you don't know your language, you're any less what you are. For a long time, I felt like maybe I was judged for not knowing the language, but it didn't make me feel any less Mexican or proud.
And lastly, what is your favorite Selena song, and what was the outfit that you enjoyed wearing the most while shooting?
My favorite song is Que Creías, because it's such a powerful song. And I always really loved when Selena was in just like jeans, big oversized t-shirt, tennis shoes, and just felt like natural.